Okay, welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling Zoryve, roflumilast cream. It's a non-steroid option for eczema psoriasis, getting a lot of buzz. Our mission really is to figure out, is this a true step forward or is it, just another expensive prescription?
Yeah, and what jumps out right away, I think, is how fast it moved. 6 FDA approvals in just 3 years. I mean, that's highly unusual. Really tells you something about what the regulator might have seen in the data.
6 approvals. Okay, so there must be something there. Let's get into the mechanism then. We hear non-steroid all the time, but what's it actually doing?
All right, so it's called a phosphodiesterase 4 inhibitor, PDE4 inhibitor for short. Think of that PDE4 enzyme as like a dial that's just stuck on high, churning out inflammatory stuff in the skin.
Okay.
Zoryve basically blocks that enzyme. It turns the dial down, reduces that inflammation right at the source.
So it's more targeted. Like steroids are kind of the shotgun approach. Maybe this is more precise. And that's the big deal, avoiding all those steroid side effects everyone worries about.
Exactly. That's the key benefit. Because it's steroid-free, dermatologists aren't as worried about, skin thinning or those long-term issues, which means you can potentially use it longer term, even on sensitive spots like the face or skin folds, where you'd normally be really careful with steroids.
That sounds great, theoretically, a targeted approach. But historically, non-steroids haven't always packed the same punch, have they? Did they lose potency by ditching the steroid? How does the actual clinical evidence stack up?
Well, the data looks pretty solid, actually,
Hmm.
especially for moderate cases. They ran trials with over 1,300 patients, so decent numbers. And about 32% of people using Zoryve got a clear or almost clear skin in 4 weeks.
32%. Okay, how does that compare?
Well, the control cream, the placebo, was only 15%. So you're looking at more than double the effectiveness compared to the vehicle cream alone. That's statistically significant improvement.
Right, more than double. And I saw something about quick itch relief, too.
Yeah, that's another key point.
Yeah.
Around 30% saw major itch relief, and some people felt better within like 24 hours, which is huge for getting people to actually stick with the treatment.
Makes sense. If it feels better fast, you'll keep using it.
And it's approved down to age 2 now. Getting something safe for long-term use in toddlers, that 2 to 5 group, that's a big deal for parents and pediatric derms. About 25% of those little kids hit clear skin versus just 10% on the placebo.
Okay, so the science seems promising. Effective, works fast, even for young kids. But now, got to talk about the elephant in the room. The price tag. I saw figures over $900 for a 60-gram tube. That's, wow.
Yeah, it's definitely sticker shock territory. Over $900 without insurance is, well, it's a lot. We called it PlayStation territory.
Yeah. So how does anyone actually get it then? Well, you generally need commercial insurance. And even then, expect a prior authorization fight. That means your doctor has to basically plead your case to the insurance company, justify why you need this specific expensive drug instead of something cheaper. It can be bureaucratic purgatory, as some call it.
Prior auth. So
No.
a real barrier.
It is. Though, to be fair, the drug company has patient assistance programs and copay cards. For people who qualify, those programs can sometimes bring the cost down to zero or close to it. But you have to navigate that system.
Right, jump through the hoops. Okay, so that's the clinical data and the access maze.
Mm.
What about the real world? Are user experiences matching up with those trial results? I hear it's kind of mixed.
It is very split, actually. You see these almost miraculous stories online. Someone clears up a huge patch in just a couple of days. Amazing stuff. But then you also hear about the downsides pretty clearly.
Like what?
Well, discomfort when applying it seems common. Some people said it hurt like hell, especially on really sensitive or broken skin.
Okay, so stinging or burning. What else?
Yeah.
And then there's some potential systemic side effects. They seem rare, but they pop up in reviews. Things like headaches, some nausea. One person even reported severe insomnia, like couldn't sleep properly for a whole week after starting it.
Wait, really? Insomnia for a week? That's intense. That doesn't sound like just a mild skin reaction.
No, it's definitely systemic if that happens. Again, seems rare based on trial data, but it's something people report experiencing out in the wild. It adds a layer of risk the clinical numbers don't always capture up front.
Okay, so bringing it all together then, we've got a novel, steroid-free mechanism, solid clinical results, even in kids, but also a brutal price tag, access hurdles, and some potentially rough real-world side effects beyond just application site stuff.
Exactly. So the final verdict. It seems like Zoryve is definitely worth investigating for a specific group. We're talking patients with moderate eczema or psoriasis who have decent commercial insurance and who've maybe already tried steroids and need a different long-term option.
Right. It's effective, potentially safer long-term than steroids approved for little kids.
Uh,
Those are big check marks.
they are.
So, the final thought for you listening. When we see these new innovative non-steroid treatments emerge, and they're genuinely helpful for some, but they launch with a nearly $1,000 price tag, how accessible is that innovation really, especially if getting it means relying entirely on navigating these complex, often restrictive patient assistance programs? Something to think about.